All right, Victoria, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
All right, let's roll, nerds. Casanova,
How you doing today?
happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, Judge.
You ready?
The jacket.
Thanks.
I am here on last name Escobedo, first name Samuel.
Ready?
Yes.
Do you need a translator? Okay, Escobedo, come on up. You are Samuel Escobedo. Sir, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On January 26, 2025, at approximately 12:31 a.m., the officer observed the vehicle on East Sam Houston Parkway turn southbound in front of the officer, making a wide right turn and entering his lane of travel, forcing him to slow to avoid a potential collision. The officer observed the vehicle swaying within its lane and within the vicinity of another motorist. The vehicle accelerated to a high rate of speed of 61 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone, and a traffic stop was then initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed glossy eyes, slurred speech, and odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant stated he was coming from a party where he had 2 shots and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 3 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant refused to provide a breath specimen, and an inventory search was conducted, and the officer found 2 Modelo's cold to the touch and mostly empty, and 1 pint of vodka. The passenger advised the vodka was hers and the beers were the defendant's. Blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Drinking while driving?
Yes, Judge, cold to the touch.
Mr. Escobedo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm now also ordering you not to drive at all. Do you understand? You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. I don't care what your excuse is. Do you understand? I would think that it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. If I find that you pick up a new case, you become a danger to my city, you consume alcohol or you drive, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, no more PR bonds for you. Do you understand?
Your Honor, for my client. My client is 19 years old, Your Honor. I've known him for a long time. I know his family, and he works at the refineries right now. It would be onerous on him to not be able to drive, and Your Honor, my client would be requesting if maybe there was some alternative, potentially a machine in the car to make sure that he's...
You know, I mean, he's 19. There's alleged 2 cold beers he's drinking while he's driving. No. I want you to appreciate the absolute privilege it is to drive. It's not a right. You want a right? Take your Dodge Patas and you can do that. No. If after a while you can show me that he appreciates it proactively, right? And I get it, then we can talk. But until that point, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if there's a burning building, you have to save 50 children. You drive. It's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand? It's not set in stone, but I want to know that he's not taking it for granted anymore and that he absolutely appreciates it. And I think that living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive blows, and we'll see whether you actually see it or not. Don't drive. I'm absolutely serious. Do you understand? Now, because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Casanova and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you've gone AWOL, pick up a new case, become a danger, I will issue a warrant. The rest I'm going to put you in jail and that's it. You understand? You're in good hands with Mr. Casanova. He'll treat you well. Just listen to him and he'll take care of you. I'm going to have you come up here, swear test if you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with, is it Vanessa? What is it? Fatima. Okay, so we have now Fatima with pretrial services. You'll get with her. And then after that, you guys are free to go. Okay.
Thanks, Judge. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Okay, hi. Ms. Stern. Good morning, how are you?
2 for an arraignment today. First one is Wonk, last name, first name Fred.
It's a Walker?
Wonk, W-O-N-K, sorry.
Okay, Mr. Wong? Come on up, sir.
Other way.
Des, when you come, please go this way. We don't want you walking by the prosecutors, please.
All right, go ahead and have a seat on the jury calls following you. Judge, I'm sorry, what's the last name?
Wong, page 23. Good morning, sir. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The complainant is the defendant's stepson, and on January 25th, 2025, the officers were dispatched to a family disturbance in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer met with the defendant, who stated that he and the complainant were in a verbal argument that turned physical. The defendant stated he attempted to forcefully remove the complainant from the bathroom and then got into a fight. The officer met with the complainant, who stated that the defendant and him got into an argument over a key to the shed, and that the defendant went into the bathroom and started striking him in the face with a closed fist, causing pain. The officer observed small lacerations on the complainant's head and face, and the officer spoke with a witness who stated that she observed the defendant on top of the complainant striking at his head.
What is the relation?
The relation is the complainant is the stepson of the defendant.
Stepson. Okay, do you know the age?
The age is, one moment, Your Honor.
Do we know whether he wants to have contact with Mr. Wong?
So we haven't had a chance to reach out, or we tried, but we had no success. And then the age of the complainant is 47.
Okay, so Mr. Wong, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, the state can and probably will file additional charges of violation of the protective order, and it's one of the worst cases that you can pick up here. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. I want to know what their wishes are if they want to have contact with you, and we just don't know whether they want to or not. So until we know, you're not to have contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? If you violate these conditions, if you pick up a new case, then I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest, put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good job on having a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you have to come back to court. For now, I'm going to have you just sign a receipt of victory. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. And after that, you'll be free to go. Okay?
Judge, does that protective order just cover the complaining witness and not the witness? Because I think.
It covers, let me see.
Sure.
It covers the South Champagne Circle in Tomball,
Oh, just the address.
that
Okay.
address.
Thank you.
Do you live at that address?
Yes, sir. Mortgage on home.
Who owns, so get with them, because I don't know how that's gonna work out, because they've not been able to rip, and I don't know if the other person has a right to be there as well. They cohabitate, they share it, it's gonna be a problem, so we'll have you guys work out the kinks and then just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, hold on, we'll have you sign a receipt
I
first.
have one more, so.
It's okay.
Right this way.
Okay, ready? Who's your next?
Hernandez, Jose.
The translator, right? No? Jose Hernandez, come up.
Right, have a seat in the jury that's behind you. You know, just straight.
You don't see it.
Judge, you said Hernandez?
Yeah,
It's Mija Hernandez, Mija Hernandez.
with an N?
Mejia.
Mejia? Mejia. Oh, page 15.
And Mejia.
Who's in the
Not here. There we go. Okay, you are Jose Ernesto Mejia Hernandez.
Sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On January 26th, the officers were dispatched to an accident at 2200 West Sam Houston Parkway North. Officers observed a green neon vehicle with front end damage on the shoulder of the road. Officers made contact with the driver, who appeared to have glossy eyes and slurred speech. After relocating to a gas station, the defendant stated he was returning from his girlfriend's house. Defendant stated that he had 2 Modelos, but did not know the size of them. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 on the HGN, 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, 3 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The ICs were read, breath test performed, and he blew .094. And there is criminal history reckless driving 2016.
Any other prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
Can you run his license, please? Mr. Mejia Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. You understand?
Sir.
Does he have a valid one? No?
Believe so. No. Where's?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you also have car insurance as well. Do you understand? You need a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. If you don't, then you're not allowed to drive. That is a bond condition of yours as well. Do you understand?
Sir.
Now, you have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance, but you must stay in touch with her. She'll tell you when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you sign a receipt of Victoria. We'll have you get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and after that, you guys are free to go. All right? Okay, please. Thanks, guys. Mr. Petunia, you ready?
I am. I'm here on Mr. Joel Rodriguez.
Okay.
Page 19.
Mr. Rodriguez, come up. Do you have the co-defendant as well?
I do not.
Do you know, do you know?
I'm unaware whether he's hired.
Okay. You are Joel Rodriguez?
Sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes.
On January 23rd, 2025, the officer observed a black Silverado and a white Honda Accord at the 7800 block of South Highway 6, turning left at a high rate of speed. The officer made a U-turn at the intersection to follow both vehicles and had to travel approximately 66 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. The officer observed the motor vehicles to be side by side, with the Honda flashing its emergency lights. The officer observed the Honda turn off the lights, and both vehicles began to speed up again, driving side by side. Both vehicles ran a red light, and the officer attempted to catch up to both vehicles, traveling approximately 90 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. The officer briefly lost sight and re-observed the Silverado as the motor vehicle continued traveling eastbound. A traffic stop was initiated, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant. The defendant stated, when asked about the high rate of speed, "No, I was on my way home with my friend Adam. Adam was following me home." The co-defendant then arrived, claiming he was there to check on the welfare of the defendant, and the co-defendant stated, "I was following him home, but I broke it off because I wanted to get something to eat."
Okay. Sir, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to participate in these types of activities again. If I find that you do, I'm going to take your privilege to drive away from you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive sucks really, really bad. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
I'm asking you to do is don't race, no reckless driving, street takeovers, donuts, anything of this nature. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There are proper places in Houston to do it, not on 610 or 59. Can you file those conditions, please? All right, now, you have a great lawyer. Listen, Mr. Petoniak, he will help you out. Because you have him, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but stay in touch with him. He'll tell you when you have to come back to court.
Yes, Your Honor.
For now, we'll just have you sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. All right?
All right, thank you, judges.
So, is the co-defendant on today too?
He was, but we asked for a reset. So he got.
How is that possible? He got a reset.
Judge,
Let me see.
you have a very important call.
Oh, that's right. All right. Well, I think we set up a Monday one. Yeah. Okay, ready? Hi. What's going on with you?
Judge, I've got a Javier Ibarra Coronado,
Ready?
first setting.
You are Javier Coronado Guevara. Sir, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir. Okay. Alex.
Yes, Judge. On January 25th, 2025, at approximately 4:44 PM, the officer was conducting a city ordinance enforcement at Metro Mart convenience store. The officer observed a vehicle reverse into his patrol vehicle in the back left quarter panel. Minor damage was observed, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. Another officer arrived on scene and observed the defendant to have glossy eyes. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 2 out of 8, and one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.112 and 0.112.
Any prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
License?
No
No
license,
license,
Judge.
Your Honor.
Mr. Guevara, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are ordered not to drive. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you were not in this country with permission and you go to jail for any kind of extended period of time, immigration will put a detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration. I'm putting bond conditions on you now. If you violate these conditions, I'm going to put you in jail. And if you're unlucky enough, you're going to be there for an extremely long time. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. If you fail to go test, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. If I find that you're driving in violation of these conditions, likewise, you will go to jail. Now, you have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with counsel. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells you that he can't get a hold of you because you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Okay.
For now, I'm going to have you sign a promise with us that you're not going to drive. After that, I will get you to Victoria where you will sign a reset. You will then get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Page 18.
Okay?
Just come on up.
Hi.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. How are you? You know, we made it. It's Friday. It's been a week. Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Judge, we waive probable cause.
Does he have a Texas driver license?
I'll run it, Your Honor.
And any prior DWIs?
California.
He has California driver's license, Your Honor.
I guess any prior DWIs would be the
There you are.
appropriate question.
Okay, I'll just run it in NCIC, Your Honor, because I see no driver's license on our system, but I'll try to run that again as well.
He recently moved here from California, Your Honor, with a California driver's license.
And I'm assuming that you're going to do the ALR and all the judges,
Yes, sir.
so I trust you. Doug, so since you're waiving PC, I'm still going to find probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. You will go to jail. If you pick up any other new cases, likewise, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. As long as you have a valid license to drive and liability insurance, you may drive, and he will tell you if it does become suspended. If it does, at that point, you may not drive. No prior DPS?
No prior.
All right, so you have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance because you have a lawyer. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but just stay in touch with Doug and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court.
Thank you.
All right? Okay, guys. Have you signed a reset? We'll go with pre-trial and then you guys are free to go.
Yes, thank you very much.
Happy Friday.
Go ahead and sign for Lisa. All right, Judge. Page 1, Bob, come on up. All right. And I'll get rid of
You are Corey Bob.
Sir.
Mr. Bob, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, at 10:13 PM, officers were dispatched to a major crash on Irving Boulevard in Harris County, Texas. The defendant ran a red light and another vehicle struck the back left rear of his vehicle, and officers arrived on scene and saw the defendant sitting in the driver's seat with keys in his pocket and the engine running. The officer observed the defendant to be unsteady on his feet with an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The officer then observed the defendant to be unsteady on his feet and needing help walking at times. Furthermore, they observed red glossy eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant stated he was coming from a club and was heading home. The defendant stated he had 3 to 4 drinks, and standard field sobriety were then conducted. HGM 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. A search was conducted on the defendant's vehicle, and the officers found a 1/5 full bottle of whiskey in the passenger seat in a bag, and the defendant consented to breath, and the results were 0.175 and 0.162.
Are you telling me that he's consuming alcohol allegedly while driving?
There's no indication of being cold to the touch or anything, it's just 1/5 full on the passenger seat,
What was it?
a bottle of whiskey.
Right. Mr. Bob, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license, please?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming illegal drugs or any kind of alcohol, I will put you in jail. Because it's a second offense, I'm now placing a restriction on your license. You are not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand? I'm sending notice to DPS in Austin where every single officer now knows that any vehicle that you drive is required to have an interlock. So if you're pulled over and it doesn't have an interlock on it, then they're going to take you to jail. Do you understand? Okay, please, yes. I'm sorry? 7.
My counsel didn't show up. I don't know.
You have a lawyer?
Yeah, I do, but he didn't show up. George Powell.
Oh, well, let's do this. I didn't realize it. So let's do this. I'll have you sign a reset. We'll have you get with pre-trial for your bond conditions. Just hang tight. He'll be here. I mean, we start early and I don't know. Don't fret. I'm sure that he's on the way. Okay. I know George. He's a good guy. We'll just have you take a seat after you sign both your conditions and then we'll wait for him to come. Okay? Please.
Right this way. All right, Judge, next is Diaz. Get you going, bringing them out. Yes. It's Blaine, the data. Just wait for you to send it. Page 4, Diaz.
All right, coming up, Mr. Diaz. You speak English, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Diaz, I don't know why we have you in custody. Well, I'll tell you now.
Yes, sir.
You, with us, have picked up a possession of a controlled substance. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. What I see is that you are now also on felony probation for possession of a controlled substance. It looks like they've issued a warrant. You're set at no bond on that case. So we have to take you into custody. I can't let you go with a felony warrant. So what'll happen is you will probably roll up on Monday's docket in felony court. And then, assuming you have a lawyer, they'll help you out upstairs. So regardless, we're going to do probable cause in our case. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. I will also appoint you a lawyer this morning.
Yes, sir. I just got done talking to him. He's on his way, actually.
Who's your lawyer?
Robert Reyes. I just got done here talking to him before he pulled me in the room.
Okay, we're gonna do probable cause and then I'll just have you in back. When we get to any issues, we can always talk.
Okay, thank you.
Please.
Yes, Judge. On January 25th, 2025, at approximately 1:18 PM, the officer was dispatched to Katy City Park in Harris County, Texas, in regards to a male drinking in public. Dispatch notes described a Hispanic male wearing black pants and a black and gold jacket. Upon arrival, the officers observed a person matching that description, walking away from a field where the suspect was reported being suspicious. The officers met with a witness who observed the defendant walking towards the parking lot and west of the field. And then the officer made contact with the defendant and observed him appearing intoxicated, slurred speech, incoherent speech, unsteady without the ability to stand. And the defendant was detained and the defendant was uncooperative and made demands ensuring the officer of street accreditations, and a pat down was then conducted. The defendant was in possession of an amoxicillin bottle with the defendant's name on it. The bottle contained illegal contents. In the bottle was a pinkish, orangey, unknown pill and a white pill. The white pill was recognized from training experience as Xanax with a weight of 0.29 grams.
What's he doing? Walking while Hispanic? You know?
What?
Really?
Your Honor, there was a report of a person drinking in public, and then there was a witness who saw him walking to the parking lot, and then they gave a description, and he matched that description.
Let's do this. I'm not ready to roll on your case. Let's wait for your lawyer to get here. I'm gonna have him look at everything and then we'll go from there. Do you mind?
All right.
Okay, you got it, man.
Judge, you want me to appoint someone?
No. I think he said he has Valle, but,
Robert Reyes.
yeah.
All right. Next is page 9. Marquez, come on up.
Did Jackson check in?
Martinez. This will be there, so this is the.
Come up. You're not allowed to leave in the blue shirt. We'll take him back.
Misunderstanding.
Come up.
With the officer.
Is it the same, Marcus? Marcus, go ahead and up there to the bench.
You are Catherine Marquez. Ms. Marquez, you're charged with prostitution. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 25th, 2025, the officer was at the 5219 Telephone Road location as an undercover officer conducted an investigation at an after-hours club after receiving a complaint of prostitution. While at the club, an officer was approached by the defendant, and during their conversation.
Second, okay.
Yes, Judge. So an undercover officer was conducting an investigation in an after-hours club after receiving a complaint of prostitution, and while at the club, the officer was approached by the defendant, who during their conversation admitted she was an employee of the club and agreed to perform deviant sexual intercourse and straight sexual intercourse for a fee of $400.
And I'm gonna find the probable cause to go forward with your case. Can I appoint your lawyer today? Would you like a lawyer?
Yes.
Can I, okay, let me do this.
Who can I get?
I don't want you to say anything. I'm gonna give you a lawyer, explain your side to the lawyer, and we'll go from there, okay? For now, I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll just have you take a seat in the jury box. I am making it a condition of your bond that you're not to participate in this type of behavior anymore. If I find that you pick up a new case like this, or it continues, I'm gonna revoke your bond. I'm gonna put you in jail. You understand? Okay, please. Can you file that, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Judge, next is page 16, top of 16.
What about top of page 9?
It happens starting, I'm sure it's the top.
That's the one that's, damn. Nwanko. Nambi, Nwanko, come on up. Good morning, sir. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir. The complainant and the defendant are roommates. On January 25th, 2025, the officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated that she and the defendants are roommates and that the defendant was crouching down with his phone when she touched his phone to indicate for him to move. The defendant then struck her in the face with a closed fist, causing pain and a small cut to her lip. The officer then observed a small cut to the complainant's lip.
Sir, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. There's a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you violate this protective order, they can file additional charges against you. A violation of protective order is one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do we know if she wants to have contact with him, Alex?
He attempted to reach out, but no success.
Until I know that she wants to have contact with you, I'm ordering you not to have contact with her. You're not to be in possession of weapons as well. Do you understand? If you violate these conditions, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Would you like a lawyer, sir? I need you to fill out an application for me. I'll have you talk to someone today. I'm going to have bond conditions created for you to sign. Do not leave until you sign the bond conditions. Otherwise, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. We'll provide you a lawyer today. All right?
All right, Judge, right below that.
Ashley Orange, come up.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and have a seat in the jury box with that.
Hi, Gabe.
See? Okay.
Good morning, Miss Orange. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while your license is suspended. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, guys. On January 24th, 2025, the officer conducted a motor vehicle check on the defendant's vehicle while traveling on the 7500 block of West 1960 Road in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the registration to be expired as of January 2024 and no valid financial responsibility on the vehicle. A traffic stop was initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer conducted a person check on the defendant and saw her driver's license was suspended as of February 1st, 2024, and she was identified with a Texas ID.
All right, Miss Orange, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance. But if I find that you drive, it's going to go really, really wrong between us. Do you understand? I'm going to have you sign an affidavit. This is a promise that you're going to make to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care if there's a burning building with 50 kittens that need to be saved. Do not drive. Do you understand? Deputy, do you mind getting this, sir, please? I'm giving you now the number to the driver's license division to DPS. This is the number that you need to call to figure out what you need to do to get your license back. When you call them, call at 7 in the morning. Do not call at 8:01. Do not call at 9:50, 1:03. You'll never get through because the lines are so jam-packed. You need to call the minute the phone lines open up, which is at 7 in the morning. They can tell you what you need to do to get your license back. If you get it back and you show me that you also have insurance, I will take this restriction off of you. Trust me, do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes.
You need a lawyer to represent you in this case. Would you like me to give you a court-appointed lawyer? Okay. I will give you one. I need you to fill out an application for me. I'm going to have you swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, I'll get you to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box where we'll find your lawyer. Okay? Please.
All right, Judge, next is page 17, Patterson.
You are Ms. Patterson?
Yes.
And you are charged with criminal trespass of a habitation or shelter. As such, it's kicked up to a Class A misdemeanor. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to an apartment regarding a family disturbance. The officer made contact with the complainant, and the complainant was in a former dating relationship with the defendant and stated the defendant had been banging on the door of her apartment since January 23rd, 2025. The defendant had not made any threats or said anything besides banging on the front door. The officer observed the defendant moving around the rear seats of the complainant's motor vehicle, and the complainant approached the vehicle and claimed ownership and identified the defendant as the person inside. The complainant stated she recently got the vehicle, had not let the defendant borrow the vehicle or use it in any manner. The complainant also stated she secured all the seats, and the defendant stated the motor vehicle was already unlocked and the officer did not observe any signs of forced entry. So in this case, the trespasses of the vehicle. And that is how the information is split as well, Your Honor.
I don't know if that counts as a habitation,
And Your
shelter, super fund,
Your Honor,
car.
as the information reflects, the charge is just criminal trespass with the vehicle being alleged to be the trespass. There's no mention of a
I
habitation.
get it, but you kicked it up. Like if it was a Class B, okay. But in this case, the intake made it a Class A by saying it's, typically this enhancement is reserved for a structure, right? Like a house, an apartment, a shelter. I don't know if a car counts. Let's look it up. Yep, it includes vehicle. Habitation means a structure or a vehicle that is adapted for the overnight accommodation of persons and includes each separately secured or occupied portion of the structure or vehicle, and each structure appertaining to or connected with the structure or vehicle. Vehicle includes any device in, on, or by which any person or property is or may be propelled, moved, or drawn in the normal course of commerce or transportation. Except such devices as are classified as habitation. Okay, all right. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to go where they live. Do you understand? The complaining witness in this case.
That's where I live. And they here
Let's
today.
do this. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today.
Okay.
And we'll have you guys work out the kinks. The only thing I want is I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in this case, no weapons, and not to go where they live or where they work. Do you understand? Unless I know that they want to have contact with you. So we're going to find out. Have you done a RIP?
No, Your Honor, we haven't had a chance to. We can reach out now, see.
So we're
She's
going to
here.
need a little bit of time.
She's
She's
here.
here, Your Honor.
So let's do this. Let me appoint you a lawyer now.
Okay.
She's back there in the head.
Okay.
We'll have you guys talk, but for the meantime, I'm going to have you sign a receipt of Victoria. We'll have you take your seat in the jury box, okay? Please,
Judge, did you say so?
please. And then, so you saw who that is?
Yes, Judge.
It's the CW, William.
All right, Judge.
Hold on. Do you have an arraignment? We're doing arraignments. Let me just blow through these first and then,
All right, Judge, page 18, Kenya, come on up.
hey, is this a second? And
The first one dismissed with PTI.
Ms. Pena, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle following a vehicle very closely at the 2800 block of Center Street in Harris County, Texas. An NCIC search showed an unconfirmed insurance status with no match found within the last 45 days. The traffic stop was then conducted and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, and the officer observed red bloodshot eyes, strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant stated she got off work, smoked marijuana, and went to a local bar where she had 1 beer. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant stated her level of intoxication would rank 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, and the defendant was read the DIC, and she consented to breath. The results were 0.053 and 0.056. The defendant then refused a DRE evaluation, and a consensual blood draw was completed.
Okay. So how many other DWIs does she have?
It was just one prior in 2022, Your Honor.
NCIC?
I ran it, Your Honor. This is only the one prior.
The other PCS that was right afterwards, right? Oh, so they were both, okay.
They were both dismissed, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Oh, have you run her license?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm gonna randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming anything, I'm gonna revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand? Do you need a lawyer today, ma'am? Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look at it and see whether you qualify, and I'll appoint your lawyer today. If you don't have a license, don't drive. If you don't have insurance, don't drive. Above all else, don't consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You understand? Okay, please.
All right, Judge, next is page 1. Alfaro, come on up.
Tony, we need him to, the affidavit, please. Hey, did you guys file the conditions on Rodriguez so that we can get Nathaniel out?
This is no
Levante su mano derecha.
Y son mis uniformes, no más papel, no
Licencia de manejar.
and no drugs, safe, no drugs.
Puede manejar.
Did you get conditions on Joel Rodriguez? Joel Rodriguez?
We had use of bond commissions. We had one filed, but it was filed incorrectly and they refiled it for the reckless driving.
Do you have it?
I have it in your queue right now, or I'm trying to get it.
And which one did they file it on? They filed it on the wrong one, you said?
They didn't include reckless driving and then street takeovers, it just included,
I see it. Okay, Joel Rodriguez, come up. Okay, we'll have you sign the conditions and then after that, you're free to go.
Yes, I need conditions.
What is your last name, sir?
Alfaro?
Page 1.
Okay, you are Ricardo Alfaro. Mr. Alfaro, you are charged with harassing communication. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On August 26, 2022, the officer was dispatched to a harassment call and met with the complainant, who explained she had broken up with the defendant on August 20th after dating 2.5 years. The defendant came to the complainant's parents' home early in the morning of August 21st and began knocking on the door and refused to leave. The defendant got into an altercation with the complainant's brother, and the complainant then went to work where she received phone calls and text messages. The complainant responded in text asking for the defendant to stop contacting her. And over the next 2 days, the defendant continued to text the complainant asking to just talk. On August 24th, the complainant went to the defendant's apartment to retrieve her belongings. And upon returning to her parents' house, the complainant observed the defendant circle the area. On August 25th, the complainant's father observed the defendant parked down the street in his vehicle. 5 p.m. that day, the complainant's friend observed the defendant had been driving past the complainant's apartment, and the complainant observed the defendant driving around her parents' neighborhood and parked outside for a while before leaving. The defendant then attempted to contact the complainant by phone and text message, as well as driving to the complainant's place of work and contacted the complainant's work asking to speak with the complainant. The complainant stated she has received 50 calls and approximately 100 text messages, as well as 15 to 20 calls from some unknown number.
Tell her I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward into your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand? I don't care what you're doing. I don't care where you're going. I don't care what color you are. If I find that you try to have any kind of contact, I'm gonna put you in jail. Do you understand? How old are you, sir?
25.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir? Okay. Can you file the conditions, no contact and no weapons, please? I'm gonna give you an application now. I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Victoria, then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'm gonna find your lawyer. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Do you understand? Okay, please.
Go ahead and sign for your reset. All right, Judge, the next is page 21, Sims.
Hey, Your Honor, briefly for Patterson, the complainant told the will that she will not talk to him until there's an attorney for Ms. Patterson. So we can't complete the RIP until there's an attorney.
Did you get a lawyer for Ms. Patterson?
No, not yet, Judge.
Don't worry, we'll work it out.
This is 21, Sims is the last name.
Colby Sims, come up.
Right.
Oh. Good morning, Mr. Sims. Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer responded to a minor accident at the 8700 block of Fairbanks North in Houston, Texas, Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant, who stated he was driving his vehicle, was at an intersection, and the defendant was blowing his horn at him to turn, and the complainant could not make a right turn due to the truck being in front of him. The complainant stated once he did turn right on the Fairbanks, he began to drive north in the first lane of traffic, and the defendant drove in the second lane. The defendant began to weave in and out of the lane in an attempt to make the complainant collide with the defendant's vehicle. The complainant stated the defendant made an unsafe lane change, causing him to rear-end the defendant. The defendant began to drive north on Fairbanks Road, brake checked the complainant again, causing him to collide with the defendant's vehicle. The complainant stopped his vehicle, exited, and the defendant did the same, and both began to verbally argue. The defendant accused the complainant of rear-ending his vehicle, and the officer made contact with the defendant, who stated he was driving north when the complainant collided with his vehicle. The defendant stated he noticed the complainant's odd behavior in the rearview mirror when he was struck the second time and had to brake due to heavy traffic. The complainant told the officer that traffic was light, and a witness stated he observed the defendant's vehicle continuously weaving in and out of the complainant's lane while brake checking the complainant.
You said odd behavior.
And that's
Kind of allegation of alcohol or dope?
no, Your Honor. And that was the statement the defendant made to the officer, that he observed the complainant have odd behavior.
Oh, I see.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. You were on bond for a very serious felony case of evading a motor vehicle, and now you've picked up a reckless driving. I'm taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I don't give a rat's behind what is going on in this life. If I find that you drive, because I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. It's an offense in and of itself. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you consume alcohol and kind of illegal drugs, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. How old, sir?
I'm turning 19 next month.
I will appoint you a lawyer today. I'm telling you now, if I find that you drive, and I don't know what the reason is, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you mind reaching out to the max, appointing a lawyer, please? I'm gonna have you come up here, swear test that you're not gonna drive. I'm gonna get you to Victoria Center, reset, and then you'll get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and then I'll have you take a seat while we find you a lawyer.
Mr. James?
All right, Judge, next is page 21. Smith, come on up.
James Wilson, just also confirm that you.
You saying Smith?
Smith, Judge, was this one tabled?
No, appoint. Come up, ma'am. You're Miss Tamika Smith?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with, excuse me, terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance with a weapon call at an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas. The call slip advised a black female in a red wig possibly had a firearm. The officer observed the defendant matching the description, and the officer made contact with the complainant, who stated she lives in an apartment across from the defendant. The defendant and she had several verbal arguments in the past, and that morning they also had an argument. The defendant began yelling and screaming at the complainant from a parking lot in front of the apartment, and the defendant told the complainant, "I'm going to shoot you, bitch." And the complainant stated the defendant further made threats to shoot the home along with the kids inside after the complainant retreated inside the residence. The complainant was in fear for serious bodily injury or death, and the complainant provided security camera footage where a female voice was heard yelling, "I'll shoot your home and your kids too."
And I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
Yes, sir.
Ordering you not to have contact with this person.
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to have any possession of any weapons as well.
Yes, sir.
If I find that you violate these conditions, I only have one place. I'm going to revoke your bond.
Understood. Yes, sir.
Would you like a lawyer today, ma'am?
Yes, please.
I'm going to have you sign a writ to Victoria. We'll have you take your seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, please.
Right this way.
So can you file no contact, no weapons?
Yes, Judge.
Go ahead and sign to you, sir. Go ahead and have a seat in the jury box. Because we have one more, but it also has been done.
Who is it?
Page 13, McCardle. Mr. Gibson.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Who's Mr. McCardle?
Right.
As you know, if your lawyer's coming here today?
They said you were meeting here.
Okay, all right. Coming up, Mr.
Judge.
Yes, sir.
Judge, this is Mr. Christopher Martinez. I was appointed to represent him on his first case for terrorist threat. It looks like he's picked up another case, Judge.
Really?
Yes, sir. That's all. Family member.
Now stand charged with assault of a family member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The complainant and the defendant are in a dating relationship, and on January 25th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to an assault. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated that he and the defendant are dating and that they had recently gotten into an argument earlier that day. The complainant stated that he had thrown some nicotine cartridges on the floor, and the defendant and him got into a physical altercation but separated. The complainant then made food and brought the defendant a plate of food, but the defendant used it to strike the complainant in the face, causing a laceration above his eye. The complainant then stated that he began to fight back.
Same complaining witness in the terroristic threat?
No, sir, Your Honor, it's not.
No, Your Honor. It does appear that the complaining witness in the recent assault was a witness to the previous terroristic threat, but I'm still not sure the involvement so far.
Mr. Martinez, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I ask you one thing. I ask you not to pick up any new cases. You have done, because you have done this now, I'm going to revoke your bond on your first case, and I'm going to put you in jail right now. Goes with you, officer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. 5,001. Yeah. And tell me, did he get a PR bond on that small case?
Was this,
Martinez?
Oh, Martinez.
No, he made a surety bond. Okay, so leave that as is. I won't touch the new case, but just the old case, 5,001. Ready?
Good morning.
Okay.
Mr. Sanders, bond violation you asked us to approach on.
Page 20.
Dominic Sanders, come up. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. I ordered you not to use. You're not to use anything. Do you understand? I'm sending you for a drug test. You must come right back. If you fail the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand? Okay.
Judge, if I may, I can of course send him to get tested. I will make note that when he picked up this case, he was doing the drug test 5 days later, and he was going to come out positive for everything that's on that.
Cocaine. We'll see. I'm going to send him for a test right now.
Yes,
We'll see. All right, take a seat for me, sir.
You're going to send it, right?
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you mind sending him for a test, please? And waive the fee. Hi. Thank you, Abel.
Morning, Judge. How are you doing? I have two clients I would like to approach regarding bail.
Okay.
First one is Guerrero Guadalupe. He has a terroristic threat. We're asking that bond be reduced. He does not have any other prior violent history.
Why is he still in? Why did he not get a PR bond? There's gotta be a reason. Hold on, let's find out.
Okay.
Let me read to you what the match sheet said, so we're on the same page, because I had no idea. It says, violent threats against his ex-wife, threatened to hit her with a walking cane. Let me bring him out. They didn't even give him a PR bond?
No,
They gave him no chance.
no, this is the only guy has pending. You'll do a PR bond.
But I want to talk to him first,
Okay,
just to admonish him.
okay.
Who's your second guy?
My second client is Ellis, last name Ellis, first name Bakori. His bond is currently set at $20,000 for this case. Last name, Ellis.
Ellis.
Mhm.
I didn't know his name. Let me read this to you. So what I'm reading to you is why the magistrate decided to do what they did as far as not giving a PR bond, making the bond as high as they did.
Okay,
A lot of times they will have more information that we have here
okay,
because they'll do a group search like an NCIC or whatnot to see all criminal history. So, and this one's long. It says, defendant on a 3-year deferred for a state jail felony since 3/21/24, stole CBD disposables. This case, witness called to report a man dancing around and waving a firearm in the air at 5900 Long Drive. Law enforcement officers arrived, saw defendant matching the description sitting at a bus stop at location, saw butt off gun sticking out of his pocket. Leo told defendant to put his hands up. Defendant instead reached for his gun. Leo struggled with the defendant as he continued to reach for his firearm. Holy moly. Finally got him cuffed and approximately 6mm, then recovered a loaded .45 pistol from his pocket. One Leo injured during the struggle, pushed against the wall of a bus stop, sustained minor abrasions. Witnessed identified defendant as the person she saw dancing pulling out black pistol from his pants and waving it around multiple times. Not obeying NFC of deferred public safety concerns, indigent per AFC. That's why they did with the struggle and, he was lucky he's shot.
There's no body cam footage, so it's not alleged struggle. I would like,
Let's bring them out both and we'll talk to them.
okay.
Guys, Deputy, do you mind bringing out two people for me? I need Ellis and then I need, it's Guerrero, right?
Guerrero.
Ellis and Guerrero, please. Interesting is to see is that, was he on something? Was he allegedly intoxicated at the time? I wonder, I don't know why.
He does have mental health issues, so it may appear that the state that he was in may come off as appearing intoxicated, but he does have mental health issues too. Why his
So
behavior.
you had the full offense report?
Yes, Judge, I'm pulling it up right
Is
now.
there any indication of intoxication at all? Is he using anything?
There's no indication.
Read it, Your Honor.
Do you have a copy of your warrant too?
Yes, I did, and I read it.
Anything?
It doesn't say anything about intoxication or abnormal behavior aside from that.
Okay, on the first case on Guerrero, do we know whether the complaining witness wants to have contact?
Your Honor, we attempted this morning, we still haven't been able to get successfully in contact with him.
I'd like to do PC with him out here.
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
Hey, guys, I have a non-disclosure on a Vincent Rodriguez. Have you seen it? Are you opposed, unopposed? You're unopposed? Okay, okay. You speak English, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How's jail?
Ain't fine.
Good. It's not supposed to be fun.
I'm disappointed. I wasn't even supposed to be there.
Let's talk. We'll figure out why. All right. Both of you guys have picked up criminal cases. You've not made bond, and you don't have anyone that's going to make a bond for you. That's why you're in there right now. Your lawyer is asking for me to give you either a PR bond or to lower your bond, and we're going to have a discussion now as to whether that's going to happen or not. I'm a firm believer that everybody should be given at least one chance to see whether they're going to do right or not, right? So hold on, sir. Just don't say anything yet. You'll get your chance, I promise. Mr. Guerrero, let's start with you. So you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 27, 2025, at 8:11 a.m., the officers arrived on the scene for a weapons disturbance at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officers met with a complainant and a witness outside the residence and later met with the defendant inside the residence. The complainant stated the defendant, the ex-husband, lives with her at the house since last year. The complainant stated the defendant has threatened her numerous times and she was scared of what the defendant would do if she called the police. And on November 3rd, 2024, the defendant texted the complainant, I didn't put I'm fucking you up when you come back, bitch, but never assaulted the complainant. And in the middle of December 2024, the complainant was on the phone talking with a friend when the defendant approached the complainant from behind and tried to take her phone and shouted, asking who she was on the phone with. The defendant failed to get the phone away from the complainant. The complainant ran out of the residence out of fear. Around Christmas 2024 at approximately 7 to 8 p.m., the complainant and the defendant were arguing about the complainant's boyfriend having a key to her vehicle. The complainant and the defendant went to go get the keys and the defendant stated, I'm going to kill him. The complainant was in fear and the complainant's boyfriend did not want police called. On January 26, 2025, the defendant came out of his room and the complainant's jacket on the chair where the defendant's cane normally rests and the defendant saw his cane laying on the floor, and the defendant accused the complainant of placing it there. The defendant followed the complainant into the kitchen and was close to her face. The defendant told her, "You know I could hit you with this cane. I can't hit you with this. Next time I will hit you." The defendant was waving the cane in her face as he said this, and the complainant was in fear of what the defendant may do to her. The defendant calmed down, so the complainant did not call the police. The complainant called the police the next morning because she wanted him out of the house. The witness, the son, corroborated the complainant's telling of events and stated the defendant said to the complainant, "I could hit you if I want to," and was close to the complainant in the hallway and was waving the cane in the complainant's face.
Guerrero, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. The magistrate here did not give you a PR bond. If I give you a PR bond, I want assurances that you're not gonna have contact with the complaining witness in this case. You're not gonna have,
Daughter, she's gonna take me somewhere else.
that's it. 95% of the people that are in jail now, because they have no self-control, they get upset and they wig out and do whatever they, without thinking, if I do this, what's gonna happen? If I say this, what's gonna happen? Would you like me to give you a PR bond?
Yes, sir.
I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in the case, sir. I don't want you to have any weapons, and I want you to have self-control. I've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. I'm giving you a chance now.
Yes.
Don't pick up any new cases and don't disappoint us.
No, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir, I
And
understand.
then, do you mind filing those conditions that he's not to have contact with this person?
No weapons, Your Honor, as well.
No weapons, no contact. I am also entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Ms. Cortez as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
If you have kids and they live with her, then use someone else. Don't call, don't go over there, because you now know no one's gonna bond you out. So if you end up going back to jail, you'll be stuck like Chuck.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, I'm giving you a chance.
Okay.
Okay. So please, if you can still file those conditions, no contact, no weapons. Now, Mr. Ellis, your case is quite a bit more complicated. You were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
Yes, Judge. On January 29th, 2025, at approximately 3:29 PM, the officer dispatched to a weapons disturbance call at 5900 Long Drive in Harris County, Texas. The officers were given a description of the defendant and that he was dancing, waving a gun. The officer arrived at the location and saw the defendant matching the description at a bus stop. The officers observed the handgun sticking out of the defendant's front right pocket, and the officers told the defendant to put his hands up, and the defendant continuously refused orders from the officers to let go of the firearm. The officers used force and pulled the defendant's arms away, and the defendant continued to grip the firearm, attempting to pull it out of his pocket. The officer was hit by the defendant while pulling away, and the officer was thrown into a metal and glass wall at a bus stop. The officer sustained minor abrasions to his right arm, and the officer struggled with the defendant for approximately 6 minutes until detaining him. The officer spoke with a witness who stated she was walking to work and heard and saw the defendant dancing and rapping while waving around a firearm multiple times.
Mr. Ellis, let me read something to you. This is why the magistrate did not give you a PR bond in this case. Defendant on a 3-year deferred for a state jail felony since 3/21/24 allegedly stole CBD disposables. In this case, the witness called to report a man dancing around and waving a firearm in the air at the 5900 Long Drive in Houston, Texas. Law enforcement officers arrived, saw defendant matching the description as sitting at a bus stop. saw butt of gun sticking out of his pocket. Law enforcement officers told defendant to put his hands up. Defendant instead reached for his gun. Do you know how many people die from that very thing right there? Watch the news every single day in America. A young person dies just because of that very thing right there. Law enforcement officer struggled with the defendant as he continued to reach for the firearm, finally got him cuffed after approximately 6 minutes, then recovered a loaded .45 pistol from his pocket. One law enforcement officer injured during the struggle, pushed against the wall of the bus stop, sustained minor abrasions. Could have been another assault of a peace officer, which is a 3rd-degree felony, 2 to 10 in the penitentiary right there. Witness identified defendant as a person she saw dancing, rapping, pulling out a black pistol from his pants and waving it around multiple times, not obeying NFC of the deferred, the conditions of the deferred. Public safety concerns, indigent per AFC. This is the reason why you were not given a PR bond in this case. And quite frankly, Mr. Ellis, it scares me that if we let you out, what's going to happen? Sometimes we have to protect people from themselves because of their own worst enemy. Counsel, what would you like?
I would like to get his bond lowered. He is staying with his mother. His mother will be able to, keep an eye out on him and make sure that he does abide by the conditions that was previously set. I will give her a call today. He's looking for work and he has a child on the way. We're just asking for a lower bond.
What do you do with yourself these days, Mr. Ellis?
I'm just looking for a job so I could take care of my family because right now I'm with a whole 36-year-old and I'm 20 years old and I'm taking care of her kids, her and myself. And I'm staying with my mom and I'm in and out with my baby. So it's a whole lot of stuff going on. And then even dealing with that 3rd-degree felony.
It's not, I don't want to talk about the cases. My concern is that, Mr. Ellis, you're a baby yourself and now you got a kid on the way. How many kids you got?
To be my first, because I lost my first son at the age of 15, stillborn.
You were 15 when you had your first kid?
I will make contact with his mother, Your Honor, before I leave today. She's present in his life. Yeah.
What's going on with the deferred upstairs? Have they done anything? Have they filed a motion to revoke?
Let me see. It does not appear that at this time they filed a motion.
What do you guys think as far as a bond reduction? State.
Your Honor, based on the fact of the nature of him being a threat to the community and to the officer themselves, which are considered under 1750, and we request 5,000 would be.
I'm requesting 2,500, Judge. He's out of work and the person that would make bond for him would be his mother. And
How long has he been on probation? He's been on probation for a year. Let me see how well he's done. He's already had one BVR. You know, when you're on felony probation, you're supposed to live like you have a halo above your head because you're really looking at a lot of time in prison. And the way things are going now, this is not a good way to go. You're going to end up either dead, in prison. It's hard enough in this society as a black or brown person. All you're doing is making it more difficult. The older you get, the more difficult life gets. And if you don't have a skill, a trade, knowledge, you're going to end up with a 40-year sentence or in a gutter, begging, because life sucks without money. And what you're doing now, all you're doing is you're making life even just the more difficult as it is. The more convictions you get, the more unemployable you get. If you don't believe me, when you go back there in the pods, ask. All the old timers that are in there, ask. You're 20. Don't squander your opportunity. I'll give you a bond reduction. I'll set it to 10,000 now.
Okay.
I'd like to have contact with mom. So
Okay.
somehow if you can like arrange so we can figure out how we can get through to Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
So what we can do to, I'm not opposed to a PR bond,
Okay.
but I want to know that somehow we have some kind of structure in place so that we know.
Okay, Judge. I will call her today. How would you like me to get back in contact?
I'm assuming he might go to felony court Monday. We can roll it to Monday
Okay,
and then just stay in the loop with me and then
Will do.
we'll structure things so that we can try to get him on the up and up.
okay. Thank you, Judge.
I'm not going to let you die here. I'm not going to let you squander this opportunity. I will stay on top of this until we get you going well. Because the way that you're going now, it sucks. It's not good. You're not to use any weed. You're not to use any alcohol. And I'm going to stay on top to make sure. I'm giving you a curfew. I'm going to do all these conditions to make sure you're not going to end up another statistic. Do you understand? So we're going to roll your case to Monday because I want to see if we can get your mom involved in this, see where we can go. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
The pure bond.
No, yeah, PR bond on Guerrero and then 10G on Mr. Holtz.
Okay, first.
Hi, of course.
Okay, I'm
Happy
here on
Friday.
off docket matter, Ms. Keys.
How's that?
2548155. You sent me an email a couple of days ago.
Oh,
about
right,
her.
right. Okay.
But the issue is that I'm asking you to open up, I'm here to request that you open up her curfew so she can take her son to school. So that's why she had left 10 minutes early, but she said she's out the house
Okay.
at 5:30 and she's here today.
Okay, come up, ma'am.
Let me just repeat that cost number one.
Okay, 2548155.
5481.
So what would you like?
I'm asking, I have the scram on and I have the monitor on, and for the curfew, I'm asking, my son has to be to school at 6 o'clock, and my curfew is 7. Yeah, he plays basketball, he's in sports, so they have
I got it.
practice before school,
You
and he
want
goes to
5:30?
school out of district, so I'm asking if I can have 5:30.
Okay.
I take him to school and I come right back home, and I don't have a problem with my curfew. And then I wanted to also ask, with the scram and with the monitor on, if you can reinstate my driving privileges, because twice my son has been late
Oh,
to school.
Well, I was gonna pull her record, her,
I don't know what your driving record is. I mean,
yeah, I didn't know about her privileges. I know she has an interlock device, but I didn't know that
I
her
don't have an
privileges
interlock
were.
device. I don't have an interlock device.
I'll run it
So
around.
you don't.
No, because I don't have a car. So, but my sister let me use her
Why are
car
you
No.
saying have driving privileges?
because when I came to court, I thought
He told you not to drive. Okay, I
Yeah, he
gotta
told
look
me
at your
not,
bond
yeah, he
conditions.
told me not to
Okay.
drive into court.
Okay.
And so,
As
I
of now, Your
can't
Honor, it's
afford
eligible
to-
with the last suspension ending in April of 2024.
read me the DIMS, please.
The DIMS, yes, Your Honor. So on January 18th, 2024, the officer observed a vehicle failing to drive in a single lane at the 8600 block of West Grant Parkway. The defendant was swerving in and out of 2 lanes and came close to crashing into another vehicle in the next lane. A traffic stop was conducted and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer observed disorientation, a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage, and slurred speech. The defendant could not provide an ID or insurance, and the officer observed an open container of alcohol on the floorboard next to her feet. The defendant stated she had not consumed alcohol, and the officer observed slow movements and unsteadiness on her feet. Center field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 8 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.29 and 0.294.
Does she have any other open DWIs or anything?
This is the one where she has an open DWI out of Austin County.
That's why. You have 2 open DWIs. I don't want you driving. You're not allowed to drive. If I find that you drive, I'm gonna have a contempt hearing. So I hope above all else, you are not driving. You heed this warning, Ms. Keys. You are not allowed to drive. If I find that you're driving someone else's car in violation, you're looking at 6 months in jail every single time you have signed an affidavit promising you that you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. You have 2 open DWIs. There's alcohol in the car allegedly. Unacceptable.
And then opening up my privilege is the reason why I asked it, because also, unless I sign over custody of my kid, I'm the only one that can sign him to school. So what's been going on is I have to ride with her to drop him off, and then she brings me back.
Okay.
I have not
I will-
violated any
If you
conditions of
want me
my
to
bond.
open up the curfew, I will, but I don't want you driving. Do you understand? There is a method to our madness here. And 2 open DWIs, a .2 with alcohol in the car tells me that there is an issue. The last thing I want is someone dead. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I will open it up to 5:30. I hope, because imagine what's gonna happen to your child if you go to jail and I make your bond $50,000 and you don't have anyone to make it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, this
Yes,
thing,
ma'am.
may be excused?
Yes, please.
Does she need to sign?
She will need to sign yes, the condition, yes. Darling,
Hi, Judge. I'm approaching on a new hire, so it's our
Yes.
first
Are you ready?
appearance. I am ready. McArdle.
okay, yeah, McCarter, come on up. And then Mac, I'm ready when you are, you know?
Yeah, we're just waiting on the TV.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Mac has wants to do a new case, PC. Mac, do you mind giving it to her? Thanks.
Page 13.
Yeah.
Morning,
Good morning, Mr. McCardle. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Yes, sir.
On January 25th, 2025, the officer stopped the vehicle for failing to maintain a single lane of traffic at the 3300 block of Nassau Parkway. The officer observed the vehicle failed to maintain a single marked lane multiple times, and the vehicle had no license plate. The officer initiated a traffic stop, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, slow, delayed speech, and the defendant was asked to exit the vehicle, and the officer performed center field sobriety tests. HGN 6 out of 6. And then the defendant was then transported back to the station to continue testing, where he refused any more testing. The DIC was read and the defendant refused a breath test. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Mr. McCardle, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Any prior DWIs?
No priors, Your Honor, and I'm running a license right now.
Please. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond. I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. You understand?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
As long as you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance, you may continue to drive. If you do not have either, then you're not allowed to drive. You've got a great lawyer. Listen to her. She'll take care of you. Because you have her representing you, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. But you must stay in touch with her. If she tells you she can't get a hold of you, you pick up a new case. You've seen what happens, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, no,
I'm not asking for much. I just want my community safe. That's all. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. You'll get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and then you guys are free to go.
thank you,
All
sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, Judge.
Hi,
Hey, Judge.
Sebastian.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
I've been calling you Gabe. So
no.
embarrassing. I'm so sorry. But I'm so sorry. Stop. Okay, let's go. It's something else. Okay, let's go for it. Who do you got?
The only thing I was gonna ask, Judge, if we could bring my client out so they could hear this, Mr. Larry Bass.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Judge.
Bass is the last name you say?
Larry Bass, yes. Like the bird.
Is he not happy with us? He's not happy with what happened, I guess?
Well, he's in jail, so you're not happy about that, no. Not too happy.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
imagine so. So you just have the one, yes, something else done.
I thought it was just that from 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's something else.
Chisholm.
Good morning, Your Honor.
What's up, player?
How you doing, sir? I apologize for my attire.
Trying to be like you.
Don't do that, Judge. You're so far ahead of me. It's hard to even be in your wake.
Come on. Give me a second, Daniel. Hold on.
No problem.
Good morning, Mr. Bass.
Good morning.
I'm bringing you out today because apparently we need to figure out what's going on and I have no idea.
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
I'm here asking for a PR bond for my client. He's had this case pending since 2023 in December, December 2023. The thing that stands out from what he tells me is he came voluntarily to turn himself in to rectify this situation that's been open for a couple of years now. And so that I do want to state that he came on the bus to try to figure this out. The reason he's doing this is because he is at a point where he's trying to fix his CDL, and this keeps popping up as an open warrant.
Can't run forever, dude.
Yes, sir.
Can't run forever. You know, the problem is that I'm happy to give people PR bonds. I don't want to keep anyone in jail. But when you show me that I give you a PR bond and you continually take off, how am I supposed to continue doing that? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, as the saying goes. And this is not the first, this case is 2 years old. And you want me to give you another PR bond?
If for one, I never had one. I always made a cash bond. If I knew something about a PR bond, I would have requested it first. And I would have did what I had to do. But all times, I always use cash. I never got a PR bond in my life.
Well, I see. So it looks like a 2B was issued in July of 23.
Yes, sir.
You posted an out-of-county bond on December 1st of 23. You were supposed to show up a week later, failed to show up.
Yeah.
And then you posted another surety bond on the 10/17/24. You're supposed to be here a week later. Again, you failed to appear.
Trusting the dispatchers.
No. But that's already 2 times. And now you want me to give you a PR bond?
Yeah,
on
I
the
quit the
3rd?
job now, but I don't have nothing in my way. And that was just trusting the dispatch and the job, trying to get home, and they give you unpromised lies, and they could never get me home on time. I always got here the next day after court.
So it's everybody else's fault?
Evening.
It's everybody else's fault?
No, sir, it's mine. I hold 100% credibility for it. That's why I turned the truck in and got on the Greyhound. I got off the Greyhound yesterday morning and got here about 5 that evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what?
I went to 3 different locations out here because they told me they want the place. So I had to find the building to turn myself in. I walked 3 blocks.
Verify that you turn yourself in? Just somehow we can verify? I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how I'm supposed to verify that you turn yourself in. I mean, I'm not gonna take your word for it. I don't know you. Never met you before,
Yes, sir.
you know?
Don't have paperwork on me?
I mean, I'll ask him the clerks, but hey, Vic, is there a way to verify that he actually turned himself in as opposed to him getting arrested? You know?
Sheriffs have that information. All we know is if they bond or if they were arrested. If they bond out when they're.
I don't
Went to
even
a
know.
surrender building.
Yeah.
They had surrender on the wall.
Sebastian, tell me about the case.
Yes, Judge. I lost it. The PC judge?
Sure.
On July 8th, 2023 in Harris County, Texas, officer met with the complainant witness who stated that she was at her apartment when she received a call from her boyfriend, who was the defendant. The defendant stated that he needed to grab his stuff from her apartment because he was moving back to California. The defendant showed up to the apartment and they were sitting on the stairs to talk. The defendant told the complainant witness that she needs to come to California with him.
The complainant witness said she's not going to. The defendant then slapped the complainant witness's drink out of her hand. The complainant walked away from the defendant and back into the apartment. The defendant followed her. As the complainant was walking inside, defendant punched her in the mouth with a closed fist, causing pain.
Do you have the rip done? Do we know?
We've made contact with her. She doesn't want to cooperate.
Judge, so if I may, Judge, it sounds like they've tried to reach out 3 times to this witness. She's not on board, is what I would say. Therefore, he's got at least a favorable shot at trial if he wants to go that route. I would ask for a meaningful way to get him out of jail while we continue to pursue this case and try to get this
What do you do
resolved.
with yourself these days?
Man, I'm a regional truck driver. I just quit. The company called PB07 Logistics. Because I want this behind me, Judge. I got off the Greyhound and I came here. I parked the truck in the trailer at like a tow yard that is like a second party to them, then which I got fully permission to do. And I got a Greyhound. Everything is in my phone. All my everything is the Greyhound ticket, everything of the jails I Googled. I walked this same block here, 3 different locations. If I wanted to run, I could have, because I had bubble guts after the first building I walked out of. I had bubble guts. I said, no, I'm not ready to do it, but I have to. And so I didn't give up until I found the right place, and that was the surrender place, like 2nd floor.
Well, Judge, I would agree with counsel that, I think we're gonna have resolution in this case fairly quickly because we do have all our evidence in. So, in a setting or 2, I'm sure we'll know whether this is gonna be set for trial or what we're gonna end up doing with it. However,
Mr. Bass, it looks like you did surrender yourself. I'll reward you with a PR bond today. The only thing I'm asking you to do, I'll even give you a lawyer. All I'm asking you to do is stay in contact with him. When you stay in contact with him, when you come back to court, good things happen, When you take off, nothing good happens. You know what I mean? All right, I'll give you a PR bond today, but I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not gonna give you another one. You take flight again, and I don't care what, if Jesus comes and says for you to go do something else, I don't care.
Yes, sir.
I won't give you another one.
Yes.
You understand? Just stay in contact with Ricardo, good things will happen for you.
Yes, and I can't speak one more.
No, it's better you don't. The only other thing I'm gonna ask you to do is don't have contact with the complaining witness in this case. Don't have any weapons. That's the only other thing I'm asking you to do. And don't pick up any new cases.
Yes, but once it's all over, I'm gonna marry her. Like she have a kid on the
Sure
way.
that she's on board first.
Yes,
Don't force the situation.
Yes, mother. Yes, sir.
Sebastian, do you mind filing those conditions? Just for the time being, don't have contact with
Yes,
her.
sir.
When the case is over, just 99% of the people in custody now, because of no self-control, they get upset and they wig out and they act without thinking, if I do this, what's gonna happen? If I say this, what's gonna happen?
Yes, sir.
Self-control. Do you understand, Mr. Bass?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Judge, I wanted to reapproach on.
He can't, don't send him down though. We need him to sign conditions, okay? Yeah, please.
I want to reapproach on Christopher Martinez. I believe that we already see and everything on that. I'm not sure if when I had made contact with the complainant, the complainant has informed me that he wants to have contact with the defendant and that they don't live together anymore, but they share some animals together. So I thought
We need to talk. I need to get Mr. D here so we can,
now I did want to say I filed it no threatening or harassing just in case, but I can get Mr. D over here to.
yeah, I need Mr. D here so we can,
He just sees law conditions. He was picked up a couple days ago on that warrant. He also picked up a
Brian
PCF case at the same time. So I guess technically the gun case is there, but I
so
guess.
if I can, did you see on Mr. Bass? I granted him a PR bond, waived the fees.
Let's get this out of the way so we're not.
It's 5,002 now. If the bond is already set, just if you can process a PR bond. Yeah. And then the bond conditions, no contact and no weapons with the complaining witness. Okay, ready, man?
Yes, sir.
The cause number.
So let's see. The gun case is gonna be 2549-495 for Mr. Okoji, and there should have been
Come up, sir. No. Sorry, that's okay.
Try to tell her earlier.
Chisholm, I'll help you out next. And then Teresa, you're after that. All right, good morning, Mr. Okoji. Sir, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On both of those cases, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On December 2nd, 2024, officer conducted a follow-up investigation on a reported assault from October 27th, 2024. Officer made contact with the complaining witness who stated that the defendant and her were in a dating relationship for 3 years. And on the day of the incident, the defendant grabbed the complaining witness's phone. And when the complaining witness tried to get her phone back, she was struck in the face with a closed fist multiple times, causing pain. The complaining witness positively ID'd the defendant by a booking photo.
So what about the gun though?
Oh, so, excuse me, Judge. The gun was so that was a 2B, and then he got picked up.
Oh, it's a different case.
Right. So then it's a new case from the 28th, where he got picked up a felony PCS and a gun.
I see. Okay,
the
so
UCW.
the UCW is connected to the PCS upstairs.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to find probable cause to go forward on both of your cases, Mr. Okoji. On the assault of a family member, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? I am entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Mr. Nolasco as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand?
Sir.
If you violate this, the state can and probably will file a violation of a protective order. That's one of the worst misdemeanor cases you can pick up. Do you understand?
Sir.
All I'm asking you to do is don't pick up any new cases, don't have any contact, don't have any weapons.
Sir.
Now you got a great lawyer. Listen to him. He'll take care of you because you have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you pick up a new case, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bond.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat while we get your bond condition. We'll have you sign it and then you'll be free to go. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
It's 254. 8574.
85.
I don't know if that's the UCW or if that's the assault.
You want the
So on the assault, I want to grant him up. All right, Daniel.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm approaching on an off-docket matter. Case number 2544420. Jonathan Coleman is a fugitive warrant. I filed a notice of appearance of.
I signed, I know that I signed one motion for you, which it looks like it was a.
It was
motion to
a.
sub.
Yeah, I was approaching on the motion to sub, Judge, just to make sure that I got subbed in on it.
Okay, Daniel, is it on docket today or no?
No, I think he's on docket for the 11th. You guys, I think Harris County has sent him to Mississippi. And I think they're trying to get him back over to you guys. So as soon as he can get back, I want to approach. I've done a little basic research on his out-of-state case. It's a case out of Story County, Iowa, which is Ames, Iowa. It's a third degree. They call it a Class C felony.
Hold on, Daniel. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Let me call Day because I don't have any fugitive prosecutors here and I don't have any here that will be able to help you. Give me 1 second. Do you know Day Kim, Daniel?
No, I do not, Your Honor. But I can get in contact with him and circle back on Monday, Judge. We don't have to inundate your docket with this right now because he's not here. I was just wanting to, give
So let's
you.
do this. Let's do this, Dave. I have Daniel Chisholm that's approaching.
Turn off the beeper.
You said Chisholm? Yeah, Daniel Chisholm, who's a defense lawyer, who's approaching on this case. I'm gonna email you and I'm gonna email him because he wants to talk about it, but the dude's not here. So if you don't mind, can I attach you to an email so you guys can, talk to him to figure out what he's thinking, what he'd like to do? And then, just wrote me in, I guess. It's Jonathan Coleman. Hold on.
Jonathan Coleman. Jonathan
What's your
Paul
email
Coleman.
address, Daniel?
CHISMLAW98@gmail.com.
Okay, hold on a second. You went too fast. So it's Chisholm, what?
Law, LAW,
Okay.
98@gmail.com.
Is he needing an answer like right now? I'm about to head into a meeting in 15 minutes.
No, because he's not here. He's willing to wait till Monday. But I'm just putting you guys together so that you guys talk and then let me know what I need to do.
Gotcha.
I'm just-
Okay, I'll give him a call after the meeting. And then I'll sort it out with him. If a good contact number can be put in there, I can certainly talk to him about my thoughts on the case.
So Daniel, I just emailed you. If you can reply and put your cell phone today, huh? Please?
Got it, no problem, Judge. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Your
man.
Honor. Have a good
All right,
weekend,
guys.
sir.
You too.
Thank you.
Have your excuse, Judge.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel.
Take care, brother.
Bye. Okay, Teresa.
Hi, Judge.
Hey.
Wanted to approach today. We dropped by yesterday, but I know Docket had already ended and you weren't there. I wanted to discuss Shaniqua Smith. She was the one that we were waiting on the amended DWI PTI contract as it related to the classes. They did submit the amended one to us. I just got in this morning and saw that it is there. So they did amend it to only allow one class versus two classes for her for SOP instead of SOP and IOP. With that said, Judge, I know Miss Victoria wrote us to Monday. I wanted to know, Judge, if it would be okay for us to come in on Friday. I know if not, she said she can move things around, but if.
Fridays are no good because it's an arraignment day, but if you want any other day, I'm okay.
Okay, okay.
Just reach out to Victoria and let her know, okay?
Perfect. And then Judge, she also has that scram device that you ordered for her to have on at the setting when there was the violation. She does have the portable already. She's been blowing already as scheduled. So we wanted to know if she would be able to have the scram device off now
I
that
don't know
she
about
has
that
the
yet.
portable.
No, I haven't been able to look to see if she's good. I mean, you're catching me off guard. I'm not ready. Just-
Understood, Judge.
Yeah, I'm not ready for
Understood.
that yet.
So then
Okay?
I'll email Miss Victoria then and see if we can maybe get her in on Thursday then.
When she gets in, then we'll do it all, okay?
Perfect. Sounds good, Judge. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
We're saying yes for Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. Bo,
Hey, Judge, how you doing?
hey, man, I got you here. Bo's here. Hey, your guy went into custody.
Yes, sir.
And
For a felony warrant on a MAJ.
I know, but the PC was something that kind of concerned me. Have you looked at it to see?
I got his version, but yeah, it sounded, from what he told me, even sounded concerning.
Do you have, what's your guy's name? It starts with.
Marco Diaz, Your Honor.
Diaz. You're attached to the case. Do you have access to the DIMS or the offense report?
I will check, yes, sir. I will check it out now because I put in attorney of record yesterday, so.
Check it out, read the PC, and let me know if you have any arguments,
Okay, Your Honor.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Hang tight, and then when you're ready, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, hey,
Judge, Mr. Sanders, you're approaching. Came back.
come up, Mr. Sanders. All right, so Mr. Sanders, you're back. Fatima, do you have the results?
Something positive for PCP, Judge.
No, that's it. I gave you the opportunity. You're not to use. All right, he goes with you.
I did
Go
do a brief research on it, and PCP does stay in your system between 7 and 14 days from what, I mean, this is Google, but.
Sure.
No. So you don't see anything like it for you.
He was arrested on the 10th of this month.
And he tested on the 15th.
He's not supposed to use regardless.
Well, right, but it would still be in his system based on him using, let's say, the 10th, on the day that he was arrested.
PCP would not stay in his system from the 10th of the month until now, which is the 31st of the month. That's 2.5 weeks. 2 to 2.5 weeks. No, you're not, I told you, no alcohol, no dope. You tested positive for cocaine. You tested positive for PCP. You're not to use. I mean, on a urine test, they can last 7 to 14 days. Right?
Right, that's what I think.
It's been 3 weeks. No, it goes with you. Sorry, Mr. Sanders. I'm going to give you a chance to clean up, but I'm not going to continue to play this game. I don't want you using. Do you understand?
Judge, could address the bond at this point now as well.
Tell me. The bond is set at $1,000. What do you want? That's right. No rush.
You said $7,000? I see it 1,000. Okay.
1,000 now.
Judge, I'd ask that you leave it as is.
No. Oh, there has to be some kind of consequence, man.
They just remade the bond on the felony case for this violation as well.
So they already took him into custody because of this as well for upstairs?
Yes, Judge, they did.
Yeah, no, you can't, Mr. Sanders, that's it. If you continue to use, what I'm gonna do is I'll have a contempt hearing, possibly hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days, probate it for 2 years, and put you in a rehab facility. We're giving you now the opportunity to stop on your own. If you're unable to, we will take matters into our own hands. I don't want to have to do that, but if you're going to force our hands. It goes with you.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I don't know. Give me, it's not.
1,500? Can you do 1,500?
What do you think?
Yeah.
It's fine, Judge.
1,500. But I'm now going to test him like crazy. And if it continues to happen.
Yes, sir.
So please admonish him accordingly.
Yes, sir.
All right, so 1501.
Yes, sir.
Hi, you ready?
Judge, may I approach?
Thank you for being so patient.
I have Mr. Johnson back on docket today to readdress his bond. He, it got pushed back because of the snowstorm, and he made bond, he got bond set in both of his felony cases. His ag assault is 50 and his evading is 25. Ours are both set at 50. We will request if we could lower it to 5,000 in these cases, Judge.
I'm so sorry. Has he made bond on any?
He has not made bond on anyone. I don't presume that he would, but 50,000 on his 2 misdemeanors.
I know, I get it, that's significant, and I'm ready to go down with you. But 5,000, I mean, he's on probation for felon in possession of weapon. Then he picks up an evading arrest, then he picks up an assault, then he picks up an aggravated assault, and now he's picked up a terroristic threat.
You'd be okay with that?
Judge, we'd ask for 10,000 because the same complainant too, with the terroristic threat, and then the AFM as well, and then.
Tell me the ag assault's the same one
And complaint
too?
as well, Your Honor.
mean,
Yes, by 10,000, so we'd ask.
I'll cut it to 20
20?
for now.
Okay.
Yeah, if he does make bond on the felony cases, just let me know and, yeah, okay?
Can I send these to you?
Sure, of course. Yeah, I'll take it. I usually do it myself so that you don't have to do it, but for future reference, I can do it for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Have excuse, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
You see that, Justin Johnson?
Justin Thompson?
No, just on the terroristic threat to 20,000.
Your Honor,
Bo,
I read it, so we'll waive it if that's okay, Your Honor.
you waive it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, so. That on Diaz. So, Bo, he's going upstairs. He's at no bond upstairs.
Yes, sir.
Are you representing him upstairs?
Yes, sir.
Great. So you want a week, 2 weeks? What do you want? You tell me.
2 weeks is fine, Your Honor.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, let me get your date.
Yes, sir.
February 18th to the 20th?
The 20th?
Okay.
And then, Bo, if you get like a far off date out there or something changes, just let me know, let Victoria know, and we can give you farther. It doesn't matter. You
Okay.
know?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
You have a great weekend.
Oh, Bo, yeah, you know. Yeah, because we'll need conditions, I guess. If he does bond out, we're gonna need him for conditions, okay?
Yes, sir. Okay. That's
Yeah.
not a problem.
Okay, just let us know.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, have fun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you sure?
Can I give you a case number?
Yeah, what is it? I'm ready.
Oh, 25-22-302.
Hold.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Since it's a mature case, I was proactive and I talked to Kelsey, because we're waiting on an approval. So I didn't want him to come in if they don't give an approval yet. They're backed up now. There's another reason I'm coming in.
Approval from Ashley?
Yeah.
So you appealed it?
Yeah, no, I didn't appeal it. I sent it to Nathan before he left, but he didn't get to it.
Okay. Has anyone gotten to it now? Do you know?
And we just have pending approval at this time.
Okay, so let's set it off a week. How mature is this, you know? When are you set, Monday?
2-6.
Just shoot Ashley an email and CC me.
I mean, we might get approval between now and then.
Well, if he gets approval before now and then, I'll set it for PTI. I'll come in because I have other cases on 2-6. Can we get his appearance waived then? I'm not gonna be here at 2-6. Okay, cool. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Hi, Council. Coming up.
How are you?
Pretty good. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Colby Sims. You just kind of talked to him about the reckless driving charge, and he's on a pretrial intervention or something for evading arrest.
Yeah, he's on no. He has an open felony evading in a motor vehicle, and now he's picked up a reckless driving where there was an accident.
I'm not challenging the probable cause, Your Honor.
Okay.
Just you gave him no driving conditions. He goes to a special school. He has Asperger's. Parents work first shift. They're under. Dad has had to take off work all week, go in late to take him to school and then leave early to take him home. They live about 8 miles from the school. And we just want to know if you could modify.
No, the facts here, it's a alleged menace. I mean, the facts of this case are really bad. I mean, there was an accident because of the
driving. Your Honor, and I don't know everything about the case, but
hold on. Come up, Mr. Sims. I'd like you to hear it so that you get it.
I saw the summary. I saw the summary. I know that there's a dash cam on his vehicle. And I believe the state they have the SD card. But what it purports to show is that he wasn't weaving in and out of traffic. He was hit from the back, Your Honor.
When you told me the facts here, he hit the other person, or did he brake check and then he got? Okay.
Yes.
So you need to understand that you live in Houston, and when you get into these road rage incidents like this, people get shot and killed with events like this. And the reason I did this is because this is not the first contact that we have of a serious nature where other lives are in danger, but we now have also a felony evading arrest in a motor vehicle. And the last thing I want is another death on the road. I understand that you have obligations. I have understand that, but the last thing I want is someone to get injured, you killed, or where you've dug yourself in such a hole that you're stuck like Chuck in custody because of some. I understand that you had stuff, but I don't want you in a car. You're a danger in a car. Now, it's not absolute. If I see after a while that you appreciate it and you show me that you have taken proactive measures, and I'll let your lawyer explain it to you. You know, nothing's ever set in stone, but you scare me in a car.
Your Honor, would I be allowed to come back at a later date to address?
Yes, of course, counsel.
Active.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, we do that all the time. But the idea is driving is a privilege. It is not a right. The right is you can walk, but not to drive. And every day, someone dies in Houston because of something in a car. And I'm going to try to prevent that at all costs. Okay. So whenever you're ready, come back, let me know, and then we can talk again about it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Absolutely.
Rapporteur?
Yes, counsel.
Nami Nwanko. Earlier today, a no contact order was entered, banning him from this address 9326 Clarewith Drive. The complainant, because that's allegedly what the complainant was. The complainant is not at that address. So we're asking the court to modify the bond condition.
I spoke with the complainant about 15 minutes ago, and she clarified she had moved and has no intention of ever going back.
Then we'll amend it for you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
So you sent me out to Lois and Nwanko. I'll amend. All I'm taking out is a residential restriction. So just please let them know everything in the MOAB still stands except for the residence thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Judge.
for sure. Thank you. Mr. Thomas. Okay, yeah. Hi, Harold. Mr. Landrino, always a pleasure. How are you, man?
Sir, good to see you, Judge. So I'm one of your MAC attorneys, state judge, and I have a couple clients, but on Miss Patterson, she's
Yes.
struggling. It's a trespassing case.
Okay.
And it's a little weird, but I think you might have issued conditions for no contact at all.
Okay.
And we're going to ask if the state was in agreement to change that to no threatening, harassing, assaultive contact.
So my thing is that I always want to honor the wishes of the complaining witness. If they're okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
I spoke with the complainant and she's fine with them living together and still contact. It's just no threatening harassment.
Where is Miss Patterson? Come up, Miss Patterson. So. Got it, yeah. So I will amend your conditions to order you not to have any threatening or harassing contact. What you need to understand, what is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think. It's what she perceives. So is this threatening or harassing? It most certainly is, and it can land you in jail. So I don't know what kind of relationship you have, but if it's one that you're constantly butting heads, be careful, because you're the one that's gonna end up in jail if there's another fight and she comes up and she starts complaining. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. All right, so you file it, we'll sign it, and then you guys are free to go. And one more thing, you must stay in touch with Mr. Landrino. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you've gone AWOL, I'm gonna issue a warrant for your arrest. Don't pick up a new case. Okay, good luck.
It's written out.
Okay.
You should make that change, right?
Jawad Akoji?
All right, you ready? Come on. Yeah.
10 and 11?
Page 10, 11, 12, and 13, more like it, right? Mr. Martinez, you were charged with evading arrest, theft, failure to identify oneself, driving while intoxicated, and you also have a felony theft of a firearm. What are we doing?
He is pleading guilty to the DWI and the evading, 30, credit for 23, and then they are going to dismiss the felony. That's why Herman's here. He's on the felony.
So, well, they're gonna dismiss what, the felony
Once
theft?
he pleads, they're gonna dismiss the felony, yes.
So we're going forward on the DWI and the evading.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Mr. Martinez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated and evading arrest. On the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. On the evading arrest, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail with credit for the 23 days. He actually has 26 days credit.
It's 26 days on one and 26 other.
Okay. You need to understand that these charges will go on your record. The evading arrest is an enhanceable offense. If you ever run from the cops again, you will be charged with a felony offense. Do you understand?
Sir.
The DWI is also going on in your record as well. So if you ever get pulled over by an officer, they're going to look up your record. They're going to see, man, this guy's got a lot of baggage on his record. If they smell alcohol or if they smell dope on you, what do you think they're going to do?
I already know it. They're gonna pick me up.
From now on, you are facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Any new cases that you pick up. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car because you were taking a humongous risk.
Sir.
You understand?
Or drugs.
Or
Anything.
drugs.
When I informed Mr. Martinez,
Okay,
just
any
for your
drugs,
purposes, even though
Or
he's
about-
getting his theft dismissed, it's gonna be based on a conviction on another case, so it's not expungable. The statute does not allow that case to be expunged,
Which one?
the theft of a firearm.
You understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't think any of the cases. Or wait a second, hold on a second.
Separate, the ones that are separate transactions, Your Honor.
All three are out of the same
Okay,
transaction.
well then, yeah.
Yeah, so the evading, theft, failure to ID, all those are based out of the same transaction because none of the cases can be expunged. So the ones that are dismissed, they're gonna stay on there, they'll be dismissed. But the others will reflect as a conviction on your record. That's what I'm saying. From now on, it's a minimum of 90 days in jail for anything that you pick up here in misdemeanor court. You understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. Do you want? Understand?
Yes, sir.
This is what you want to do. How do you plead to both of the cases, guilty or not guilty?
Good, sir.
I want you to understand one more thing, Mr. Martinez, that DWI is big business in Harris County. There's a $3,000 surcharge that normally would apply to this. I'm not going to stick it on you now because it's a first offense, but on a second DWI, you're looking at a $6,000 surcharge that you get hit on a second DWI. Get a clue, take an Uber. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Just so I know, to tell him on that other, are you running a concurrent with his ALR suspension?
No, no. He's got 5 open cases. What else you want? A ribbon too?
Good
No,
to ask.
no.
Okay.
You have a license suspension. You're not allowed to drive.
I was trying to ask you about that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
No, that's
Do you have, yeah, just sit down. Do you have ribbons to give out, Jeff? Do you have ribbons?
Get your brother. He's a godfather right here.
Catherine Marquez?
He's out.
Guys, after that. Hey, your lawyer's, ma'am, your lawyer's right there. He's gonna, no, just hold on. He's gonna come get you in a second. That's your, I think this is your last one. Yeah, whatever you want. No, I don't need it. You're good. Guys, have a wonderful weekend.